Level floor flow. Yeah. Okay, you had me nervous then. That was like a while ago. Okay, so now this time, where do the arms go, girls? Do you know? Do they go low on the beginning pose? Are they low or behind the behind? Remember on jumps, you got screamed at if you went behind the behind. On floor, a lot of times they will be behind the behind. And in this pose, they are behind the behind. Okay, shoulders are down, neck is long. And I would like you to go, just look at me for a second. I want you to go all the way to the close before the jump. So the step, kick, blah, 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 all the way to go. So just go and let me see what I got. Okay, I saw you too. Can I see you too? Go. Okay, all right. As I talked about earlier, we're talking about text, stylization versus the text. Every one of them had a text error here. So, and all of them had a quality of movement error, which was a cue in your paper. What I really liked was your diagonal lines, because those are really hard to do. So you did a nice job. This should be a nice circular movement, though. After you go from here, you show this is the only place that's kind of stretched. And then once you go, you hit that line, but then it's circle and close. There is no front, back. Front, it's a circle. It goes up and around and close. Now, you can look back if you want. That's okay. But the shoulders are allowed to twist when you do this movement. The girl in the film, I love the girl, but she was a level 9 at the time, and now she's a 10, and absolutely gorgeous. She kept adding these little things, and I'm like, stop! And she added this little head thing, and she added this little head thing. She kept adding these little things, but it doesn't say where your head goes. So when she looked back, I couldn't say on the film. The gymnast should not be, because we don't have a focus, so you can do that. So their text isn't wrong, but when they look back, it caused posture errors in every single one of their lunge positions. And you don't know what I'm talking about, so just go again and pick a person, because they all did the same thing. Go from the beginning. I want you to watch the hip alignment of when they do this arm thing. Go. Stab, kick, watch now. Look at her. It is not a side lunge. It's a front lunge. Your hips are supposed to stay forward. Your shoulders are allowed to slightly twist to do this movement, but as soon as you look back, they all open. So that's a P on your paper. The hips are supposed to stay straight. The shoulders are allowed to turn. Now, there is no pause, there is no stop. You will not see the book say, go to back diagonal, and if you were in Florida, this was the mistake when it was being taught. That when I was explaining it, I go, you go forward, then you go back through here, and I stopped here and started talking. And people were all frozen here when I was talking. And so then when we stopped, we went again, everybody went like this. I go, why are you stopping? But it was because I paused when they were in that mode. There is no pause there. It just goes, circle, close. Okay, so can you do that and move that arm? It's going to be this one, the one on the hip, you guys were perfect. But that other one, move it around and close. Ready, and stab, kick, move it around and close. See what I mean? She's caught in that and not wanting to do it. Are they doing it right? All right, watch me. Okay? Don't watch how high I kick. And by the way, your kicks are nice. So from here, the step and the kick, and around and close. That's how it was written. Okay? You should try to fix that. Go. Step and kick, and around and close. You just don't want to do it. But you will. Don't mess with the ball down. Ready? And step and kick and around and close. Okay, so that should be smooth. All right, so there were not necessarily text errors, because they did the correct, well, that time you messed it up. That time we didn't get the arm all the way to the diagonal line. And you messed it up, you took the arm. Now, don't mess up the things you did right, girls. The diagonal lines were correct, and then circle and close. All right, so that's not a stylization. So are you doing it like I'm doing it, or are you doing it a little bit like, I know this was already changed a lot, but that's the way it should be done. Okay? The biggest thing, remember, little T's on your paper, but what was the biggest thing? The P's that allowed the posture, because when they're doing that, they're changing their hip alignment and everything. All right, going on. How about the straddle, jump, jump, half turn, rebound, pose? All right, so when you close, you have to be in a turned out position, yes, and your foot could be first or third or fifth, front or back, and you're fine. Let's just go one at a time. Straddle, jump, jump, half turn. Let me just watch the arm pathways. Okay, go. Okay. Okay. Okay, so different pathways from the girls. And judges, where are the judges in the room? Raise your hand. I never watch the pathways because you can do anything. They have to be here on the straddle jump, but most of the time they do, unless they do one of these jobbies, and then it's so obvious and everything else is ugly. Who cares about the arms then? There's so much else to take off. But when you land the straddle jump, you have a choice. And they all kind of did a little differently. I think she went right to here. You went down. Somebody went in the front. So it says the jump half turn, the arms are in crown, the pathway to crown is optional. So you're not going to care about that. Now the entrance. Guess who got a big gong on the beginning? I'll give you one guess. We'll all stare at it right now. So go from here, darling, and go from your first position and show me your jumps again. That's better. Now just try to point your feet after you're done. Okay, ready, your turn. No, behind and behind. Again. I love the arms. Nice job on that. Could you please not go to the bathroom when you start? Better. Much better. Okay, so we have a little amplitude issues, we have a little kicking issues, but their pathways are correct, their arms are correct now. They need to kick a little harder, they need to get a little higher. The other thing is, can you start facing this way? And there's another little, now, Floor is going to get into a lot more of these quality of movement things than we did on B, because we're moving and doing more choreography. So I'd like you, after they do the jump half turn, I'm going to tell you what it is, but you just do whatever you feel comfortable doing, okay? After the jump half turn is that rebound, which you all did great, into the side lunge, which you were all turned out. Congratulations, coaches. They were all turned out with their feet pointed, and some of them we had some Frankensteins. So it's got to be soft, soft. It's one arm and then the other arm. It's not at the same time, but it's not that big of a deal. Just 1, 2, but this is supposed to be soft. Real quick lesson in soft and sharp. You guys did this yesterday. Face down, please. One arm out to the side. I'll stand in front of you so you know what I'm talking about. You're on straight. Now that is sharp. Bent. And that is sharp. Sharp, 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 sharp. Do we have things in the routines that we want to have sharp? Yes, there are sharp things, but then there's things that are supposed to be soft. Soft is in the middle of straight and bent. Here's bent, here's straight. Bent can be even worse though, but it can be like this. Soft is in the middle, and we have to find the middle and wave that middle. That's soft. So you come out of the jump half turn, and it's soft. If it goes past 90 degrees, it gets sloppy. Soft is just slightly curved. Better for you. Let me see you, Frankie. Soft. Yes, do the bounce and then go. Bounce and go. Don't. Chin up. And it's a slight twist.
So which arm comes first?
The front. It's just, it's not a big deal. It's just slight. I mean, if they're doing, it's just, I still did this one just a little bit. It's not that big a deal. You just don't want do do a rebound. Put your arms up. Punch, punch, and still landing like this as we going in. Like you didn't run, you did the straddle. See, now hers looks a little sloppy to me. Why? See, as coaches, I want you to start looking for it. If you have no dance training, and you haven't been in ballet and had to just, have to, all those years of all that stuff I had to do. But think of it as a coach. When something doesn't look right, break it down. What's wrong? Why doesn't it look? But that's why. Once you, this is sharp, this is sharp, this is sharp. To get soft, you have to get in between 90 and then that's soft. So when it goes too far, and even if it's smooth, it still doesn't look soft because it's too much bend. So that's my direction with her is not so much bend, and that'll soften it up. Get them when they're little, get them in front of the mirror and go sharp. Oh, I do this all the time, they just love it. Sharp, scared, go sharp, sharp, soft. And have them do these things because we do it in the floor routine all the time. Soft, soft, so that you have a quality of movement that's developed in the compulsory routines. So when you get to level 6, they have some other ability besides going in the corner. Okay, let's go on. We're here. And we're going to pretend that this is our corner. And we step to do the turn, one at a time, one at a time. Ready, go. Step, turn, text here. Step, text here. Step, text here. No text here. Oh yeah, text here. Sorry. All right. Real close. Ready, girls? We're here. Every time I say, who was at one of my workshops, one of my national workshops? Do you remember the cardinal rule of stab? Okay. So every time you hear stab, those middle fingers, wave them. Wave the middle finger. Touch softly the middle finger to your leg. Now, it doesn't say in the text, touch your middle finger softly to your leg. It says love. But in order to avoid that, I say touch your middle finger softly. And that keeps your arm slightly curved. So every time you hear stab, then you softly bring your middle finger to your leg. Then your pathway to go to crown was excellent. Except you didn't do crown, you did Frankenstein arms again on the half turn. So from here it is, say the word, stab. Say it correctly. Stab! Step, half turn, step, close. Step, half turn, step, wow, really good. Excuse me?
You missed your time.
Yeah, that was slow. Frankenstein. Looking back, not too bad though. Eyes, child. The text here, what's she doing? Arms just forward, up with your crown, down, forward, up with your crown. So from your step, if I was standing in front of you, and I had a beach ball, and I threw the beach ball, catch it. You reached forward, you caught it. Did you go like this to catch it? So, catch it, and turn. So pose. Stab! Catch it and turn. Okay, that's how I fix that pattern, so that they have to pick up the ball. Okay, then you step close. How many of you go to stay in relevant? How many of you do flat? That's a choice. That's a stylization choice. You have a choice there. Okay, so one more time, please. Pose. Stab! Oh, one more thing. One more thing. Drives me crazy when I go to clubs and I kind of listen to people. I do a lot of consulting type things and I hear the coaches, the new coaches. If you're in my lectures yesterday, remember I begged you to avoid the don't and the no, and the first common thing is don't look down. Don't look down. And all they hear is look down. And then, so there's every gym, at least all the ones that I've ever been to, have a ceiling and they have a wall. They usually have maybe multiple walls. Only one ceiling. Point to the ceiling, girls. Look at the ceiling. Look at the wall in front of you. Point at it. Find where that ceiling and that wall come together and point at it. Right where it comes together. Let's use that wall in front, darling. Yeah, that's where your eyes should be. Unless it tells you to look down. You, when you turn this way, let's turn that way. Turn that way. And do this pose. Find the spot to look. Step! Still find the spot. Now turn and find the other spot when you're going to have to turn the next ceiling and wall. Find it. And, oh, is that the ceiling and the wall? Crowd, crowd. Ceiling and wall. Ceiling and wall. And close. Ceiling and wall! See how she keeps looking down? I don't know why. That's just a natural thing. People want to look down. If I got you all on the floor and I had you do something, you'd stare at the floor too. People are afraid there's glass or something that they're going to step on. So tell them where to look. You're going to be hearing that a million times. Eyes. When I say eyes, what does eyes mean? Ceiling and wall. Okay, look at the floor. Eyes. Face the parallel. The other bars. Look at the floor. Eyes. Look at the other bars over there to your right. Floor, look at the floor. Eyes! You get it? Okay, put your hands on your shoulder. Step! Where your hands go? Cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. Step! It's just no hope for your child. What do your arms do when I say step? Step! All right, let's go on. Okay, so we've got this pose and then we do the tumbling. Anybody want to do it? All right, go down. We'll see it real quick. You only get to do it once, so do your best. How many running steps do you get? 3? You're thinking too hard. 3? How many did they get? As many as their coach tells them to do. Not too bad if you were trying to win a race after the punch. Rebound, step. I like your shapes on your front hands. Go there tight. Good job. Okay, a little bit more hamstring drive so the feet are a little bit more underneath and they're a little bit too far out. That nice tight shape. Very nice. Where do you land? When you land, can you land for me? What is the arm position of the landing?